thank you so much for joining us here in Saskatoon at the Canadian Country Music Association Awards. That's a mouthful. But you're receiving a Generation Award tonight, the first one ever. It's kind of like a Lifetime Achievement Award for a young person. How do you feel about that?
I am so honored. It's unbelievable to get this award and to be honored for, having my music kind of go out of America and reach Canada and other countries. And I just am so excited. This is actually my first time being here at the CCMAs. I've never been here before, so this is an amazing first time being here.
And there's a real sense of a kind of an international connection of country stars here, because you're here, Miranda Lambert's here, of course, and then our big Canadian country stars like Johnny Reid. What do you think it is about country music in recent years that made it used to be very American music. Now it really is an international phenomenon, and you've toured around the world. I mean, as far as Japan. What do you think it is about country music that is finally reaching across to that international audience?
Well, Canadian country fans are amazing. I mean, we've been touring here for years and years, and it's grown and grown and grown to the point where we put shows on sale and they sell out immediately. It's been amazing. And but going all over the world, going to Asia, going to Europe, that's been something I've just started doing in the last 3 years, and it's been absolutely unbelievable. I mean, when you're looking out into a crowd of people who don't speak English, but they know every word to your song, it's a whole different kind of compliment.
I can imagine. And there's many things to congratulate you on right now. It's just been a great few weeks for you. You broke another record. Your new single, We're Never Ever Getting Back Together. Did I miss an ever in there? I think that.
No, you're great.
We got enough of that. It broke records for most digital singles sold in a week, correct?
It did. The fans did. It's amazing.
And we recorded a little message for the fans, explaining to them what the song is about. A little message in Taylor's words. How would you describe what the song is about?
I think for me, the song We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together is kind of the way that the moment sounds when you stop caring about what your ex thinks of you. If you've ever been in a relationship that's on and off and back and forth and mind games, and it gets you into such a bad place, when you finally break out of that, you're just like, yes, we're never getting back together. It's like a moment of celebration.
It's an empowering moment.
Exactly.
I've been thinking about, in the last 2-3 years, just about as every other genre of music and all other artists were experiencing plummeting sales, two young women, you and Adele, were the ones that really held up the industry and sold enormous number of copies of, respectively, of Your Speak Now and Adele's 21. And I was thinking that there are more similarities. Both are written from a very personal perspective. That's straight out of the diary songwriting. A lot of songs about breakups, some songs about happier love themes. What do you think it is about that very personal approach to songwriting that you have and Adele has had that has really helped you guys reach across to so many music lovers?
Well, I think that, when it comes to music, when people need music the most is when they're either falling in love or falling out of it. And I think when people meet someone new and they're thinking about them all the time, they want to have a song that they can play in their head or in their car or in their room that makes them think of that person. Same way as if that doesn't go well and they end up missing that person or wanting them back or trying to forget them, they need songs for that too. So I think writing from a personal place, it really connects with people. It's really wonderful.
But tell me, on this new upcoming record, Red, which is coming out in October, you've actually changed directions vis-a-vis songwriting, in that you wrote Speak Now entirely by yourself, and it was a really powerful artistic statement for that reason. On this one, you've decided on a different direction in that you have a lot of collaborators. What prompted this decision?
For this new album, Red, I co-wrote more than I usually do. There are 16 songs on the album. I wrote 10 of them by myself, and I wrote 6 of them with other people. So it's still predominantly me writing alone, but the collaborations thrown in there really vary up the sound and kind of help to shape the album into something different than I've ever done before. And working with new producers, learning as much as I possibly can about different people's processes, it just taught me more, and I felt like it was it was like getting to paint with different colors than I'd ever gotten to paint with before.
Yeah. I think because your songs are so personal, people have a sense that they really know you. What do you think is the one thing about Taylor Swift that people don't know that you think would surprise them?
I don't know, because it seems like people pretty much know everything about me. I don't ever really have too many things about myself that don't end up getting revealed in one way or another, because I'm always doing interviews, I'm always talking to fans, I'm always, in a place where people kind of know where I am right now, and they know where I was last year and the year before that. But, I mean, the things that I keep to myself are kind of some of the secrets on the albums, Not everybody knows who each song is about, and I've never really revealed that. So that's, I think, the thing that nobody knows.
Because that's what I wanted to ask you. How do you strike that balance? Because you are a private person, but you're also a very open person. How do you keep the balance between the two? Making your fans feel like they're in touch with you and know you, and at the same time, leaving some things for yourself.
I think for me, I am really, by nature, really open, and I really want to let people in, and I want to, and I just kind of immediately trust people.
Yeah.
And so I've really let my fans just kind of into my life and what I like and what I spend my time doing. And I think because I write about my personal life, they don't expect me to need to talk about it in interviews or in magazine articles or things like that. And they know that they're going to hear what I've been feeling eventually, in 2 years when I write about it and it ends up on an album. I think my fans kind of know I'm going to end up telling them the truth eventually.
Well, this is what I wanted to ask you about. About a month ago, I was speaking to Alanis Morissette, somebody else who has always written about what she's gone through, from starting very young as you started, and then up until now. Now she's in her late 30s. And I asked her about it, and she said she really enjoyed that sense that whatever she was going through, good or bad, she continued to write about herself. Do you think that this is the direction that you're going to be taking as well as an artist, or do you see yourself doing a concept album at some point?
I could see myself doing either one of those things, because when I've ended up moving forward and making new albums, I've always wanted to come at it from a different approach. And, the new approach for this album was mostly sonically, working with different people in the studio.
Yeah.
And, maybe one day I will branch out and lyrically come from a different place of telling other people's stories, or telling one continuous story or something like that. You never know what could happen. As your life changes, so do your creative inspirations and what you feel like doing. I'm always going to really have a soft spot for writing from personal experience, but that's not to say that, I think that, Coldplay's new album that they came out with last year, it's a concept album, and I thought that was
Milo Zellotto,
really, really well done, and so you see things like that, and it kind of inspires you, like, I'd want to do that someday.
I have a few friends who are songwriters who sometimes say, I'm almost worried that if I were in a happy relationship or in a happy place in my life, maybe I wouldn't be able to write, the famous bad for the heart, good for the art motto. Do you ever worry about that?
That's actually the most popular question that I ever get in interviews these days. It is in every interview, and it makes me a little sad to think that if I was happy, I wouldn't be able to write songs about it. Because, I write lots of songs about lots of different emotions. Lots of songs are about troubled, twisted emotions, but there are also some about, how happy love can make you and how you can have faith in it and you can be hopeful for it. And, I wouldn't be happy if I wasn't writing songs. So it's kind of like a cycle, like, are you afraid you'll get happy and won't be able to write songs? Well, I wouldn't be happy if I wasn't writing songs, so it wouldn't work out.
Do you feel like you have to fight hard to stay optimistic? Because it does seem like people tend to sort of focus in on the negative. Almost, if there are 5 songs and 2 of them are about breakups and 3 of them are happier love songs, people focus on the breakup ones. Do you feel like it's...
I try not to focus too much on what people focus on, because I've been kind of living under a magnifying glass for the last 5 years of my life, 6, 7 years. And I've gotten used to kind of making sure my fans are happy and not caring what else is said, because, I love this album, and I loved my last 3 albums, and I'm really excited for people to hear it. And whatever people's favorite songs are on the album, that will mostly depend on what they're going through. So if people want to gravitate towards the songs about breakups, then if that helps them, then that's good. And if they want to listen to the songs about happy love, then that's good too. So I just am really excited for people to hear it.
Tell me just one final question. You've said that this is the question you get asked a lot, the one about what would happen if you were happy in love. What is the question that you wish people asked you? What's the question that you wish I asked you that I didn't? Maybe something that would reveal something about Taylor.
I don't know. I think for me, like, an interview just kind of, when they're good, they're just like sort of like a conversation.
Yeah.
Like I kind of, like, when I'm talking to you, I just kind of forget we're in an interview, and it's just like we're going back and forth and talking. So right. I wasn't like, man, she's really not covering topics. She's really missing the mark here. Like, it was just kind of like, it was just good talking to you.
Thank you. Very good talking to you.